Hello, right, new stuff, all Whoop related, apart from I've got an x-lite at last. I've been trying to get one of those for absolutely ages and saved enough, bought it, and it's very pleased with it. Slight problem with the gimbals, but I think I've just got a duff one. Hobby King is sorting that out anyway. 2S charger, 4 ports, ultra power, and it'll charge from 0.1 amps to 1 amp, and it'll do single cells and 2 cells, and it uses just the balance port, so it doesn't matter what connector you've got on there. As long as it's got your 2S balance port on, you just plug that in. And the other thing is the beta75x. I've just got this, it just turned up in the post, which was a nice surprise, and I can't get it to wash out, so I've got the CLI dump and also the BL heli settings, and I've put them on my rcgroups review for this. So it's if you're interested in that, which some of you will be, go and have a look and tell me what you think, because I don't know that they're normal ones or not, but that's flying really well. Those of you that don't know, it's a 2S brushless whoop, 1103 motors, F4 processor, and everything's pretty good about it. Apart from the camera is fixed, camera angle's fixed, you can't change that unless you go in and do a few little mods, which you can do. Slight problem with dark areas in the camera, but it's flyable on a reasonable day. Yep, there's lots of problems with washout on the early models, and I don't know whether I've got something that's been updated or what, but this one's not doing it. So go and check the other videos out of it flying, and let me know what you think. And the other thing I've also got is the tinyhawk. I haven't done a review on this yet, apart from the written review, so but a lot of you will also know that there are problems with this. I had to fit a tiny little capacitor underneath on that board to stop the remote control from dropping out. The video had slight problems as well, but that was all fixed with the capacitor and a little bit of fiddling really. Yeah, not great, but it's only a 1S as well, so it's not very fast, but it's not, well, say not as fast, it's not as powerful as this or the Mobula, which I've already reviewed. Mobula 7, best one, and but it's reasonably fast, you know, in a straight line and cornering and things. It just hasn't got the punch to go up, so with the 1S. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a bit stronger than the Mobula, I think. So with it being slightly lower camera angles and a bit stronger, I would say very good for a beginner. So if you're doing a bit of indoor flying, beginner flying, this is the one to get. It's pretty good. They're all about the same price, apart from the beta75x, which is a little bit more. But they're actually going to be bringing out a 75 Pro 2, which is a lot like the Mobula. So that'll be interesting. Anyway, back to what I mainly wanted to talk about was this charger. Because up until now, you had things like this, put it next to it, for your 1S. That charges 6 1Ss. It's just takes 12 volts, or 9 to 15 volts. And it can charge USB as well, so it's quite handy. But when you go into your 2S whoops, you have this, and what do? Well, you go home and you charge on your big B6 chargers or whatever, and that's it. So you can't do it at the field, and you can only do one at a time unless you get a parallel charging port or a big 4-in-1 charger. Yeah, so a bit of a problem. So anyway, this cures that, because 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4 batteries at a time, but they're 2S. And that means you can also takes up to 17, 18 volts, I think this. I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, So you can take your lipo, plug that in there, charge up, but it also just takes a normal plug and socket for the mains. That comes with that as well. So you can just sit that at home, plug it into the mains, no need for a 12-volt adapter, which is pretty handy. Now to use it then, we plug it in. There we are. So you can change your settings, you can change the current, you can change your lipos to HV or normal or NIM. If you press and hold that, that'll save it. That's how you save it, but that's pretty much all the settings you've got. Don't even know if you can see that. That's not shining up. Can you see that? Oh yeah, there we are. Yeah, let's do that again. So current. So individual lipos, the HV or non-HV, HV or NIMS. And then you do a long hold and it'll save it. So that's all the settings you've got. The main one you're going to leave, you'll probably use HV or normal lipo depending on your preference. I just use normal. And you just set the current, which I usually leave it at 0.5 because that's about right for most of my things. With these it's 2C charging, which is fine. And with these it's about 1C charging, which is fine. With these it's a little bit less than 2C charging. So all we do is we plug in and immediately it gives you the voltage, the cell voltage, cell 2 voltage, and the MAH. No, that's the current and that's the MAH. So it shows you. So you can see when it's getting nearly charged, the current goes down, and the voltage stay at the 4.2 obviously. And when it's done, it turns green and beeps as per normal. So that's it really. Very, very handy. Same for 1S as well. Now the downside I've found, the only downside I've found, apart from it only being 4 and not 6, you've got all these different connectors, which are all the ones that you're going to need for your whoops, and even a NIM connector there. But if you look here, the ones that most of us are going to be using are these two here, and they're right next to each other. I'll show you why that is a downside. If you've got these, you plug that in there, now, and then if you've got another one, you can't fit it. It will not go, physically will not go in there. So the fix is to use ones with a little bit of wire on, and then that's not a problem. Well, that's not a problem at all, they'll go in. Or you can, or if you have only got these and you want to use it, you could make a little extension, I suppose. A couple of extensions just for those ones, it would work. It would also mean that when you've got these bigger ones without the lead on, you plug that in, completely covers that other socket, that other plug. So yeah, bit of a design flaw there. They could have thought that one out better. I'll tell them about it anyway. But yeah, so I don't know what else to say about it apart from you can see its physical size is it's bigger than these. So, but that's because it's got mains, so there'll be a transformer and what have you in there for it to work off the mains, whereas this just, you'd have to carry around a 12 volt. You'd have to plug that into a 12 volt supply. This has USB, and this doesn't have USB. That's the other downside, no USB. That's a bit of a shame. But yeah, I don't know if I've missed anything out there, but I don't think so. Anyway, yeah, let me know what you think. Here's the box of some specifications on the back to give you a bit of an idea. As you can see, it'll take up to 17 volts, 7 watts times 4, so that'll be good for about 1 amp per channel. So that's 4 1 amps at 7 volts. Yeah, that's about right. And yep. Okay, that's about it. Right, thanks very much. Then I'll carry you on. Yeah, as I say, I've got these as well. These are good. I'm a thumber now. Not a thumber, I'm a pincher, sorry. Now, as a lot of people don't like the pinching. They say you can't pinch on them, but sort of slightly disagree and slightly agree. It's not perfect, but it's, for me, for my hands, it's okay actually. I can do it quite well. I'll review them another time anyway, but yeah, definitely a lot easier to carry around than the Taranis X9D, which is what I've had before. Okay, thanks very much, and subscribe, like, all that nonsense if you want to. If you don't, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.